going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl, alongside this guy, Joique Bell, longtime Detroit Lion great, over 20-plus touchdowns in the NFL. D-Mac, Darren McCarty, four-time Stanley Cup champion with the Red Wings, also soon to be a statewide treasure in the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. We'll discuss that in just a little bit with his Grindline teammates. Fish is in the bowl. Flint's hero. Flint's very own, Arturo in the production booth. MC Breed ain't got nothing on you as far as Flint Town goes. I'm just kidding, Art. MC Breed's
that's a heavy.
Oh, did you say MC Breeze or MC Breed?
MC Breed.
MC Breed. Art has everything on MC Breed. So
Thank you.
No, but happy to have you guys along for the ride as well. Remember, follow along on social media, our YouTube chat thread as well, if you want to get directly involved in the show. We take those as the show goes on. Something good, we skip it right to the front of the line as well. Got a big-time show lined up for you today. And I brought up the fact, D-Mac, you know, you and your Grindline mates will be going into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame in the treasure process. We'll talk to Scott Leshner. He's the chairman of the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. They do a big-time event, D-Mac. There's some huge names in the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame.
yeah, what a great honor. And obviously also, too, is Dan Stahl and Paul Sabatini for our friends at Stahl's. Yeah, it's a great honor. I appreciate everybody who behind this too. It's only apropos for the Grindline to go in together. And as a Michigan treasure, it seems I couldn't be happier. So I don't know. It's a great team win because that's what we're all about. And the individual success, it really doesn't mean much, but to go in together as a treasure, it means as much as what it did to step on the ice at Joe Louis Arena and wear the 25 every night.
Yeah, no question about that. Dan Stahl, as you said, the president of Stahl's, will be with us, as will Paul Sabatini, who works at Stahl's also. So we will wrap with them, and I'm excited. I'm a big fan of the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. Again, I hope that people understand the level of athletes that are in there across all the genres too. I mean, bowling, Olympians, Sergei Fedorov. I mean, it runs that gamut. You know what I'm saying?
And I think the beauty this year too is because of COVID last year that the people that are inducted and going in, there's a lot more to look back on. But yeah, it covers all the Michigan State sports, whether professional or not. And anytime you're in a conversation like that, and to be a treasure, I'm glowing up here, so I can't tell.
Absolutely. Joique, you were telling me it was an emotional morning, huh?
It was emotional.
What'd you have going on, man?
It was emotional. It was good emotions.
Good.
Yeah, it was good emotions. So woke about 5.
That's usual for Joique Bell, by the way.
That's a little late.
Yeah, you slept in, huh?
Yeah. No, that's actually, I woke up pretty early. I had to push everything kind of up so I can get done to be able to do what I had to do and get here. And so today was my baby's girl first day of school.
Nice.
Day of school. So got home from the gym, hurry up, washed up, went to go get her some flowers. Bought her 2 bouquets of roses, one for her, and she gave one to her teacher. So I was able to walk in. It was a beautiful thing.
It is
so
cool.
They bring in all the parents, and it's kind of like the first day. The parents would come in, the kids can feel comfortable because they see the parents there, and they kind of socialize with the other kids. We kind of see how the class is going to be throughout the year, and so they do it on the first day every year. So we have to wear a mask, but we go in there, and instantly made friends immediately. And then it was funny because while we're in there, I'm telling, she took a toy out of a little girl's hand. I said, no, you have to ask her first. I said, you have to share, give it back to her, let her play. And her mother looked at me and said, let her figure it out on her own. Let her figure it out. That's why she's doing it. And I said, okay. And not even 30 seconds later, she did it again, and then her mom went up to and talked to her. I said, no. She has to learn on her own. And she looked at me. She said, "Shut up, Joique."
No, it is, man. When your kid runs into school for the first time, I'm not a hugely emotional type of person, but that hit different, man. When I watch my kids go into school for the first time, man, that was something I'll never forget. Those moments,
You'll never forget it. And so, and this is something that I saw and I started doing. So I started up an email for my son and my daughter. They don't know about it yet. And they don't watch the show, so they're not going to know about it. But I started up an email, and like all the important moments, I take pictures and videos, and I send it to those emails. And so when they hit 18, I'm going to send them an email with the password, and they'll be able to go see all the
That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, so
That's pretty good thinking,
Join
man.
the moment.
yeah. Okay,
Journey, baby.
Yeah.
You can lose pictures, but it's hard to lose an email.
yes, it is. But we are Big D Energy. As we said, we're live at the My Bookie Studios. Happy to be with you. Got a lot cracking today. Lots of news in the world of football, and that's the way it's going to be for a little while here. The Detroit Lions will be in action. They kick off the season at Ford Field against the 49ers. 7.5 to 8 point underdog, depending on where you shop for that. We'll discuss that as things go through the depth chart as well. Le'Veon Bell has a new home. I know lots of Michigan State fans out there might have saw he signed with the Ravens. I think this one, I'm excited to talk about this one. We'll get to this about 11:24. So ESPN has a new Monday Night Football music collab with Drake. And we went into this rabbit hole yesterday about the new Drake album, the new Kanye album.
We didn't go too far.
No, it didn't go too far.
We didn't go too far.
But I'm curious to get people's thoughts on that, because there's no way it can be worse than the album, so it's got to be better. And that hurts to say. Like, I'm not being a hater, man. Drake, Drake's Drake for a reason. Makes good music. But the bottom line
Drake.
is...
Bottom line is what?
The album wasn't that good. Man.
You know what's funny? You're going to go a year or so down the line, and you're going to put that album back in. And these songs yes, you are.
No.
Yes, you are.
Then you're going to do that with Donda, too.
Huh?
And Kanye.
But those
you're not.
Those are two different artists. When Kanye drops
But they share a
something-
commonality. The album's not good. Both albums aren't good.
No. When Kanye drops the album, either it's hot or it's not. And it's not going to be... All right, that's how you feel about Donda. But there's certain songs and certain albums that Drake has made, and then people came out years down the road. Oh, that's a sleeper. I'm not gonna lie. It was a couple songs that Drake dropped. I'm like, I don't like that song. And after like a while, when I started really listening, and I'm like, hold on, this is kind of catchy, But
we'll get into it.
We'll get into it. But
we'll get into it. Mike G says
must deserve Drake.
Mike G says the Humpty Dance is still a timeless classic. Well, it is. I mean, let's be fair. And then Art and I on Twitter yesterday were talking about Flint rappers as well.
Yeah.
I had to bring back MC Breed for everyone that might have forgotten.
Shout out to the Dayton family. Top
Dayton
authority.
family, yeah.
Shout out to Ira, too. Ira is one of those people that he's just such a nice person. And he's got the appeal of, I'm from Dayton Avenue in Flint. But once you talk to him, he's one of the nicest people ever. And he's the definition of a hometown hero.
Yeah, I think the Flint rap scene is undervalued a little bit.
Good job, Art.
We can't all... Never mind. I'm not going to say it. We're on radio. I'm just going to be nice.
Yep.
Just going to be nice.
And a big hello to those of you that are listening. 93.5 FM The Roar, Detroit's new all-sports station, available on there.
Everywhere.
99.1 FM as well.
You said it earlier. That Probert said.
Oh, if every Bob Probert quote: if the whole world would sweep their own doormat, the world would be a better place.
I need to start sweeping my own doormat.
Yes, Art.
Thank you.
Yes, sweep away. But first, you need to get a broom.
Yes.
Yeah, you get a broom, Art, and then the rest of it all kind of falls into place.
And you get a broom by giving a couple dollars, and you get that by paying attention to details.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Attention to details.
Thank you, Professor Joique.
That's it. It's the
to the
little
details.
things.
Professor
Never the big things. Scotty Bowman. If we're
Art.
quoting today, Scotty Bowman, the big things will take care of itself. You got to take care of all the little things. And you know what?
Is that Scotty Bowman?
Scotty Bowman?
Yeah.
I feel like that was every coach ever.
Yeah, that's every coach.
Yeah, but he's the greatest.
Yeah,
See,
okay.
but he can claim it because he's got the most. And
Right.
then when
I just have a quick question. When it comes to taking care of your own things, is that getting your own breakfast or is that having someone else get it for you? Real quick.
you know what? Depends how you take care of your business.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, Art, if it was like
I
to
just wanna make
probably
sure.
some of us.
What he's trying to do right now is because I asked Fish if I send.
What? But why is he so worried about what your business?
Because Fish is a
was?
busy guy.
I don't
Which
understand.
part of Joink and Fish is Art?
Because
I don't see
you know-
the art in Joink and Fish.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Joink Fish. Where's the art?
You know what?
There's no art.
You know what it is? You know what it is? because Art doesn't mind the business that pays him.
No, I got to look out for my people. That's what it is. I'm looking out for my people, and Fish is my people, and his time is valuable.
Wow.
Fish?
That's incorrect.
Okay.
Fish doesn't even like you. He tolerates you.
Well,
like
that's
everyone.
incorrect, but you can assume what you want to assume.
He said like anyone. Wow, that was hurtful, Joey.
He doesn't
But
like
you know what we can all agree on, boys?
Yeah.
That if this week, you know that there's 18 weeks of gambling, 17-week season, so 18 plus all the college. MyBookie.ag. If you are not on MyBookie.ag, our great studio sponsor right now, then you can sign up using code Woodward and get 100% bonus. Yes, put 100 in, get 100. You'll have 200 to play with. 500, you'll have 1,000. Get yourself ready. Get yourself right. You want to get in on the NFL? Tomorrow night it starts right now on MyBookie. +8 if you like those Dallas Cowboys going into Tampa Bay. Tampa's laying the 8 points.
Smells like a trap, D-Mac, doesn't it?
It
does, smells like a trap.
It does, but you know what? You can fiddle around on there and see if the line moves or not. Anyways, great bonuses, over $500,000 worth of all contests at mybookie.ag. Like I said, use code Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Gambling problem, call the National Problem Gambling Helpline, 1-800-522-4700. Darren McCarty, Joique Bell, Neal Ruhl. We are Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Opa! Introducing Papa Romano's new Greek pizza, a tasty blend of bold Greek flavors and Mediterranean toppings, including feta cheese and Greek dressing. Get a large Greek pizza for a limited time for $16.99. Order now at paparomanos.com.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Joique Bell, Darren McCarty here with you. And
You're welcome, Mike.
As D-Mac just said, you know, the football action's kicking off. That's tomorrow. So again, here from the MyBookie studios. It just smells like a trap, though.
Yeah, it does. And
it's just too easy. The eight
it's
is
either
a
gonna
thing.
go. It's either gonna be we're gonna be sitting here going, oh man, I should have seen a 30-point drubbing, 41 to 10, or it's gonna be Dallas like keeping it close and Tampa winning with a.
Well, there's lots of
field goal.
avenues, right? Like you can get blown out and still cover 8 in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, you can.
Yeah,
you can be down 17 the whole time. I don't know. It doesn't smell right. I don't have a feel for it either way. It's not like my Saturday night Mountain West specials.
No,
I do have a feel for that.
You are so dialed in
Locked
on the
in
late
already.
game, which you want to, guys. You want to stay tuned. Neal Ruhl will get you right on his Friday late night pick. He is the guy that stays up till 2 a.m. for you here, so that you can get your
So
MyBookie.ag bets in.
Yeah.
You know,
that is why he's our guy.
You know what it is, though? When you guys go to talk that betting talk, that gambling talk, it's like a foreign language to me. I don't understand.
It's sort of like crypto.
Huh?
Sort of like crypto.
Speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up. Rough evening for the crypto world, huh?
I'm gonna tell you this: if you sold, which I sold before it crashed, then no, it's not bad. It's actually good. It's great.
You can jump back in.
Right back in.
So
for all us non-cryptologists out
just
there.
to give you the 30,000 feet last night, they were rolling it out. Like El Salvador or whatever, one of the Latin American countries are going to start taking Bitcoin as like a national form of payment, like a regulated national form of payment, and people just ran to get their money out of it last night. And it crashed like 10% overnight. So I thought of you, Joique, when I woke, because you get up in the morning, you get the alerts on your phone or whatever, and it says, Bitcoin crypto down 10%.
Which brings up a great question, right? How much math knowledge in your head if you know betting lines and crypto? I mean, that's just
that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with.
for all that stuff.
And you said it's down. It is down 10%, but right now you have. Is on a rise right now, so it's going back up now.
People are buying the dip, no doubt, and that's how that stuff works.
So what did it dip to? Because wasn't it at 50 or 40?
Yeah, it got down to 42 last night. Yeah.
Was that 40? Is that 46 right now?
Yeah. So people are bringing it back.
But it's weird because if you go on different platforms have different prices.
Sure.
All right. And so you have a lot of people, they'll go to one platform, buy it on that platform, and then go back and sell it on another platform. Yeah. And so that's the trick of the trade.
Well, but speaking of crashes, though, Joique, I think that's a good segue into this because the Lions depth chart came out. And when I see this on paper, guys, I mean, for those of you watching on YouTube right now, I instantly go right to that wide receiver spot, and I see Tyrell Williams at the one spot, Khalif Raymond at the other spot, Trinity Benson a backup, Quintez Cephas a backup. And I know Jared Goff was out in the Detroit sports media and talking about the receiver core, and people are sleeping on him. That's his job. That's what he's going to do. I understand that. I respect that.
Yeah.
But Joique, that's looking thin. Thin is the word that I use when I describe that.
Hey, I'll just tell you this: if we, one of our receivers, they go down, and we bring in another one, it won't hurt.
I think it's opportunity, though. Right?
That's a good point, Joique. That's why we have you here, bro.
Hey, cup half full.
But isn't there opportunity? Isn't there opportunity for one of those guys or whatever to step above? Whether it's
this is honestly, and this is what these guys are still in the NFL. So none of these guys here are terrible receivers.
Right.
No, nobody's bad. And I'm never going to disrespect anyone craft who has made it to this level, who's been in this been at this level for quite some time. So I'm not taking anything away from them. Well, what I will say is they are not proven. All right. You have some guys who have flashes, and they were good role players when they weren't the main guy, but we don't have any main ones who's been proven in the NFL.
Yeah,
this is an opportunity for guys who've kind of been slept on, right? Who've been slept on. They have an opportunity to go out here and show why they're in the NFL and why they're the number one receiver. And so this is, I like to see stuff like this because this is kind of where I came from, right? A no-name guy or a guy who had a splash of success here and had to work his way up. And so I like to see guys like this on a roster where they have an opportunity to go out there and make plays. What makes a good player is being consistent, right? And so let's see how consistent they can be throughout the season. Are they going to be consistently good or are they going to be consistently bad? We'll see.
Who's going to be Goff's Cooper Kupp? Who's going to be his go-to? Is it Amon Brown? Is that who it is? Is it Kennedy? Who's going to be his reliable receiver? Obviously,
I'm going to tell you who's
the whole focus is on Hawkinson as far as and then out of the backfield. But which one of these receivers is going to be, because every good quarterback has confidence in one of their receivers, right? Like in the NFL, usually there's a go-to. You look at, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. You can go down the list of whatever else. So I like the fact, like you said, Joique, who can seize this opportunity, which doesn't come around, because usually guys are given this position and they have to play themselves out of it, right?
Yes, that is true. What's going to be Jared Goff's biggest ally? The thing that can help out is not about who's going to be the best receiver. His biggest ally, period, is going to be that running game. That's going to be our strength, all right? And he knows as a team that's going to be their strength. And lucky for the receivers, that is their strength. So hopefully they put another guy in the box to stop our run because they know our receiving core, they're not proven. They're going to make them prove themselves, right? And so his biggest upside, his biggest ally is going to be that run game, making sure they stay on top of that.
Well, and the fact is, too, Joique, football's a numbers game, right? I mean, Goff's an NFL quarterback that has had success. At some point during the year, he's going to be in between that 3,000 to 4,000 yard mark. That's just the way it works, man. In the NFL, somebody's going to get those numbers, which consequently there will be a receiver that probably has, I don't want to say an eye-opening season, but there will be a receiver that probably has 7 to 8 to 900 yards receiving that will catch 70-ish balls, that will catch 5 or 6 touchdowns. That's just a numbers game.
I don't think it'll be spread out across, right? I think T.J. Hawkinson might have anywhere between, 750
to 1,000. Yeah, I think he's a viable threat to get 1,000 yards.
And I'll even say 8 to 1,000. I'll
say
8 to 1,000.
Double-digit touchdowns ish.
Right. Yeah. And then. But I think they'll be spread out. Then you have another guy who might have, 700. Another guy might have 650. Another guy might have 500. 5. I think it'll be That's what he's going to have to do. He doesn't have that guy. He doesn't have that 50-50 ball guy.
And that's real, right? I've always talked about this, Joique, with my friends, and I need you to confirm this now. That's real, right? Like the breakdown play, the Randy Moss types, you close your eyes and you say, go get the ball.
Go get it.
You just throw it up there and say, hey, Randy,
right.
Go get it.
Right. And the crazy thing is, like Stafford had that with
Calvin.
Calvin, right? He also had that a little bit with Kenny Galladay. He had that a little bit with Marvin
sure.
Jones. And so he had those guys. I mean, none of those guys were as elite as Calvin, but they were good players who can go up. You can trust to go get it.
Right.
They had the green light.
That's a real thing, the go get it ball.
I didn't realize, honestly, I'm 6'1", until like standing next to Calvin with no equipment on, and how tall that guy, and I'm 6'1", and I'm taller than most DBs, and there's no way I could even get up to.
And he's 230.
And he's 230, and it's unbelievable when you stand next to him and go, wow.
220 to 230.
Who?
Calvin.
Calvin played 245.
240, yeah.
245.
I mean, it's incredible where it's just like, wow. And
he was a 4'5", 4'6" tight end that was a wide receiver, right? Like
who?
Calvin.
He was a what?
He was a 4'5", 40, 240 pound, 4'4", 40 type dude, man.
He ran a 4.33.
Even towards the end, like
towards the end,
at 245.
At 245, he was probably running. I would still give him a 4.4 if he trained for. Yeah. I would
but the moral of the story is that's freak show stuff, dude.
He's a freak. I mean, it's ridiculous things you'll see him do in practice. I remember we watched a film as a team, and a guy tried to press him on the line. And when I say, like, Calvin grabbed him, pushed him back about 5 yards and just threw him down and did a slant route and caught a touchdown, I said, Calvin, why you do that man like that? He said, he must not have watched film on me. He must not have watched film on me. And that was, you have some guys that are just, I can't put it in words how good he was. So it was great to play with him. And if you don't know how to work, Calvin show you how to work.
That's the best. That's why the best are the best.
Yeah,
say that in the hockey room, anyways. The best.
Well, they're the
teach
ones
how
that
to
are
work.
touched by God. You know, I mean, they are. Like that's you don't
that's
have
it.
dudes.
We're all trying to get closer to God. So
you don't have dudes walking the streets that are 6'6", 6'7", that are 230, 240, that run a 4.3, 4.40. You don't have. That's not common. That's not regular.
And you said what? You said that's a gift. What?
He's touched by God, man.
Touched by God. They say that your talent is God's gift to you, and what you do with that gift is your gift to the world. And is your gift back to to the world. So it's kind of dope. So he took full advantage of it.
Yeah,
he surely did. All right, who's your favorite athlete? Your favorite football player?
I'm not doing this with you today, Joique.
I asked you a question.
I don't believe you anymore.
I asked you a question.
You've hurt me so much that I don't believe you anymore.
Let's get this straight here. Let's air it out.
No, we've got a minute before break.
Let's air it out real quick. Everybody in this room loves each other. I love Art, love Fish. We love everybody.
Only when he gets you eggs.
Hey,
ELE.
No, I just asked if he could have said no. I would have still loved Fish.
No, you wouldn't have.
Yes, I would.
We were debating on telling you no, actually. And I was like, you know what? Just do it once for Joique and tell him that you're too busy after and you can't do it. And he's like, I don't have the guts to do that. And I said, I'll tell him. He's too busy.
Next time I'll ask you. You gonna eat your cornbread?
Yeah. Oh, I'll get you eggs.
I'm from Flint Town. You can't have my cornbread. You got to do that.
Art is so hot and cold with me. I don't understand it. Have I told you about Northwestern Tech? Start a new career in the industry that's always essential, the heating and cooling industry. To learn more today, go to northwesterntech.edu. And I picked the perfect day to wear this jumpsuit because it is hot in here. I forgot they do not have the air on when I come here. So Northwestern Tech, give them a look. Woodward Sports.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America, Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Off and running here on Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network. Joique Bell, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. My name is Neal Ruhl. Happy you all are with us. Our guy Mike G is on the Jack Fox train. He says, don't worry, Neal. Jack Fox will be an All-Pro and in the Pro Bowler. Punter.
The biggest weapon, 70-yarders. Boom.
Well, it won't be a ton of first downs probably, so he'll be in a position where he can boom some punts. But again, we were talking about the depth chart, and
You just throwing us under the bus.
what do you mean?
It's gonna be so many first down. It'll be a lot of punts.
Joy, what is this team's biggest weakness right
The
now?
passing game.
10-7.
Talent.
The passing game. If we're talking about
Right.
okay,
So you're not.
There'll be a lot-
We
a
share
lot
the
of
same
ground and
sentiment
pound.
then.
A lot of ground and pound.
Yeah, we share the same sentiment, Joy.
Understand that, but
Quit hitting him with the truth, Neil.
He hit me with the truth, but I know I'm optimistic about my Lions.
And that's fair, and that's cool. I don't hate that.
No.
And
we should be playing on Thursday night.
Well, but
not
Joy,
the Cowboys.
But Joy, I love the spot the organization's in right now from 30,000 feet.
Yeah.
Like with over the course of the next couple seasons.
I don't. This is my thing. This is not about the Lions. I'm revert back. How does the Cowboys have the Thursday night primetime game? How do they get that?
You know the
just
answer.
Answer your question.
Yeah.
It's
What did they do?
Jerry Ball.
Yeah, because people watch the Cowboys because they're the Cowboys.
First game back against
trash.
defending champions. It
They-
makes so
but-
much
but
sense.
They
Joy-
also make the most money too.
People hate watch them. Hate watch.
Yeah, people. I mean, because the NFL doesn't care if you watch it because you like them or,
Or
watch
you
it
don't
because you
like
hate
them.
them.
They care that you watch
They're gonna
them.
watch. You're
Right.
just gonna watch. But how do they have a team who, in the last 10 years, right? They had 3 teams who didn't make a playoff play in it, and the Cowboys. won
That's
2 of them.
irrelevant when it comes to
the
the
Cowboys.
viewership. I mean,
Right.
it doesn't matter. So you look at like Jake Paul and them drawing everything else. That's not for the sport of boxing. It's for entertainment. The Cowboys carried people. Put them on the first. It's great business by the NFL. You throw America's team on there. Why are they still America's team and they haven't won crap? It
'Cause
is. It's
people
just
hate
the
them
way
or
it
they love
is.
them, yeah.
Everybody understands it. 'cause
So
it's
American
Uncle Jerry.
team doesn't mean everybody like America likes them. It just means
No,
America
it's just-
either like them or they
They
hate
just
them.
got tagged with that moniker that won't ever get.
Everyone feels some kind of way about them.
Fish, how you feel about the Cowboys? Is that why you got your hand up?
It is not why I have my hand up. I have my hand up because, Neil, you're right. They're not going to get a lot of first downs because they're going to get a lot of touchdowns.
That's true.
Oh.
No other way to be in the 10-7 limo. It's the 10-7 limo. It's a 2 touchdown cover charge to get in the 10-7 limo. I know. Mm-hmm. I know.
Are you ready for that tattoo?
I'm not getting a tattoo. What I am going to get is the Lions Super Bowl. They're going to get the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Down Woodward. Beep, beep. There it is right there. See it? Lions Liverpool coming down Woodward.
There you go.
Good
Okay,
job,
Fish. Yeah, absolutely. Good job. No, but Joy, I again, both things can be true. But D-Mac knows about that, man, because the Red Wings, for a decade spell, every other game was on national television. Whether it was when
was
the
it?
NHL was on Fox, NBC, ESPN, all of it. I mean, well, every other game.
No, I know.
I mean,
Especially
literally
when we're
every
talking
other
about
game.
ESPN being back in the
Yeah.
mix, and the Red Wings carried that clout like the Cowboys did, to through the '90s and 2000s and stuff like that. And if you're going to throw it on ESPN, we talked about how important it's coming back. You're going to see not now in the NHL more important with a lot of the powerhouse teams. The teams that are expected, the Tampa Bays, the Colorados, the Vegases. But again, this only helps, and that's why Wing Wheel Nation is worldwide, right?
Yeah.
It's worldwide. We'd play on the road, and it would be filled with Red Wing fans. Nothing blows me away more than winning the Cup in Washington and say there's 15,000 fans and 12,000 of them are Red Wing fans.
Right.
That's just crazy. So we always traveled well.
And you were hated on the other side. You would go to San Jose, Phoenix, wherever
it was
they would get
always
the
a
Red Wings.
respect. It was always a hate. And Colorado was a hate, but it was always this respectful hate.
Yeah.
You hated us because we were good.
Right.
Because you had to get through us in order to be. So there was that sort of respect there.
Yeah. So
But
the
we
people that
earned
weren't-
it, dude,
yeah, the-
because we didn't do it the easy way. You look at from me growing up, being a fan, watching the Dead Wings into making it here in the early 90s when Scotty came and winning the President's Trophy, losing, going to the finals, getting swept by Jersey, setting the league record. I mean, it's about, that's why I tell everybody, the next level of suck in this town in sports is when you expect to get there and then you won't. We still have every team to get to that point where we're disappointed because they make the playoffs and then they don't have a result. But we're not there yet. So that's the one thing, is that to hold the stability of it. And that's what we're trying to do in all these sports, is not to make it the one and done, but to make it something that lasts like it did back when we played through the 90s and 2000s.
Well, Joique, you'll like this one. Along the Ice on our YouTube chat thread says, the mouthing off stops when Joique is in the house. Go Lions. Joique would be like, shut up, Neal. I'll be quiet. But when he leaves, I'll be talking again.
Here you go. My mama bought me that chain.
I'm going to tuck mine in.
I'm going to tuck mine in.
For you.
No, but, hey, real quick, because we had another comment in here. Shout out to Mike G. I know you said, Fish, you like the Cowboys?
I don't hate them. I don't like them.
You just don't. All right.
It
how
doesn't
you feel
matter to
about
me.
them? You have any feelings about them?
Well, they're not America's team, even though people want to say they're America's team.
They are.
Who's America's team?
That should be the Patriots. Because if you think about it, they've won.
But see, that's the
They've
problem.
been a dynasty for the past 10 years.
You're right, Fish, but people will revolt so hard against that. That's why they cling to the Cowboys. Can always be America's team, because you cannot go, because people will, like, especially like ask Maz that, there's no way. That's why it's always the Cowboys. So they don't have to. You're right, Fish. By the truth, you're right.
Yeah.
The Patriots should be America's team.
Mike
but
G.
Cowboys won't be, so they don't do it.
Mike G has a question for you, Fish. What does Fish feel about the Cowboys cheerleaders? How you feel about them?
They're fine. They're women that dance and have fun.
Have fun?
Yeah.
They're fine, like they're fine good looking, or they're fine like they're okay, like, you know, I enjoy watching. Which one?
I just watch the football.
I like Mike.
Did you get his face when he? Did you get his face when?
You know what I like, real low key, and I think people missed it. Mike G's little profile picture there is Darko.
See that, yeah.
It's Darko with the Pistons jersey. People hate on Darko. That man got a $20 million contract after he left the Pistons. So I'm not here for the Darko slander. He averaged 10-6 1 year for the Timberwolves.
But think for baseball, the Yankees are America's team when they
I think the Cowboys have surpassed the Yankees
10 years. So
I think the Cowboys have surpassed the Yankee as far as people who love them and hate them.
I don't know, Joique. Like,
I think
you go across America. If the Yankees are in town, you got a bigger crowd than you normally would. I just remember.
So if the Yankees are playing the Tigers and the
more people will go to the Yankees.
Definitely.
And I got buddies from New York out of the woodwork.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. If we're in Dallas, right, playing and the Tigers, I'm not the Tigers, but the Yankees are in Dallas, I think more people are going to be going to the Cowboys game.
Well, yeah, because there's 16 of them versus 160. You know, that's the whole scarcity thing.
Baseball doesn't have many fans.
Let's do LA. Let's do better. The Rams and the Dodgers and the Cowboys.
More people at a Dodgers game.
Ooh. Well, just for a couple innings, because they just show
up. From the fourth inning to the seventh inning, there'll be more people at the Dodgers game.
Well,
you got to remember, Joique, they're World Series champions. LA's an event town.
I know, but you know,
the Rams doesn't have that 90,000 seat
town.
stadium though. The Rams has their own stadium. They're not using the Rose Bowl, which had 90,000. So they have slightly less people to use.
Yeah, and the Dodgers, you know, they hold right around 50,000. I contend there'll be more people at a Dodgers game.
Have you seen the Dodgers stadium? Like, have you been there?
I've never been there. I've never been to a game there.
So it's weird, right? When I would go to LA to go train, I would have to drive from Glendale to Carson to go train. And so I would take these back roads, like through the city, and to hit the highway and take the highway down to Carson. And so as I'm going through like this neighborhood, and I'm about to turn again, like the Dodger Stadium just pops up right there. It's like in a random spot. It's so random. Like
it's like Lambeau Field. It's in the middle of neighborhoods, man.
Yeah, but like even Lambeau is more out there, and you would expect it to be there more so than this Dodger Stadium. Yeah. It was weird. Even the parking lot is kind of weird. Just in the middle of a neighborhood. You can see it from right here, but you can't see, like, that's the parking lot. But if you go out, it's like it's just kind of weird just how it's set up.
It looks like it's just thrown in somewhere. Here you go. Put a stadium there. There's like
get about
nothing around. My question, because I look on our I look on our YouTube, and Keaton Ruttinger says,
He put it
if
well.
they are America's team, why do we root for them to lose every Thanksgiving? And you
That's
know
it.
what? What popped into my head, isn't this so 2021 cancel culture or whatever? If you're America's team, we root against you. Whereas, like, because when the Cowboys used to be America's team or monikered it in the 70s when they're playing Pittsburgh, or
Even in the 90s,
even
people
in the
rocked.
90s,
I remember the
then
starter
you would
jacket
turn it
at
on
school.
and you'd have this, oh, let's cheer for the Cowboys. It's my second team, or it's cool to have the Cowboys. Now it seems just sort of, it just sort of clicked to me that it's almost, if you're America's team, then we want to cheer against you. Or it's cool to cheer against you. I don't know. Does that make...
No, it does make sense, because I remember in the 90s even, people rocked the Cowboy starter jacket when I was in junior high
And
and high
now
school.
it's not sort of cool unless you're from there or something.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But the people still do root against them. But you know what else they do a lot of on Thanksgiving?
Eat.
Fish.
A lot of betting.
That's right.
Speaking of betting, BetQL. BetQL wants to get you an advantage over your sports book. You need to download BetQL, the app you'll need to make your smart bets. BetQL Best Bets computer model scans 350,000 unique bets per year to give you your best recommendations for every game and gives you the reasoning behind why you should pick the bet. Plus, their platform has all the data and analytics you'd ever need to make your bet and get betting research. Head over to the App Store or Google Play Store now to download BetQL to get started now. Enter the discount code WSN at checkout to get 25% off any of their subscription offerings. Make sure you check out their specials offers in the video description in order to receive a free year of BetQL. Don't miss out on your chance to bet your sports book this football season. Woodward Sports.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
What it do? Welcome back. Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Joique Bell, D-Mac, Darren McCarty in the house, fishing the bowl. Flint's own Art in the building as well. Happy to have you along for the ride. Some news out of the NFL yesterday in terms of league-wide. Le'Veon Bell signed with the Baltimore Ravens. No sign of Todd Gurley anywhere. You know, Joique, obviously you're the resident expert as far as that goes. When you look at Le'Veon Bell, I mean, I know you don't like to. I know you don't like to speak ill of people that are in your craft, as you said. But you know, the Ravens certainly decimated with injury with J.K. Dobbins, Justin Hall. They're out for the year. Yeah. You know, is he at the end of the rope? I mean, you know, you watched him kind of come down the stretch here of his career. Is he at the end of the rope in your opinion?
You know what? I'm gonna give you the same speech that they gave me. I remember when I was deciding whether I wanted to negotiate, stand with Detroit, and taking that 70% pay reduction or going to another team. I decided to test the market, and when I think my agent might have asked, do you guys really think that Joique can't play anymore? He said, well, that's not up to me, that's up to Joique. And so I'm gonna say the same thing about Le'Veon Bell. I can't say I think he's at the tail end of it, but that's up to him to decide. I think when he left, I think the style of run, his running style, it fit Pittsburgh. That doesn't work with every team. And that's how he kind of made his name, being that patient back and being able to wait for plays to develop, and that was his strength. Every team doesn't block that way. Every team doesn't fit that type of scheme or that type of run style. So I think him going to the Ravens is going to help him out a little bit more, because he won't be the focal point of the team as far as the run. There's some other good running backs on that team, but
their rushing attack, their rushing style is back to his roots, right?
I think that, but isn't it with Lamar Jackson, with the fact of the play action,
all of that
run pass option? This puts Le'Veon Bell in a good situation for him to succeed, right? Because Baltimore, to me, is a rushing team. Like in my head, I think, rush before pass. I think, they're built up front, offense, defense. So if he could be successful, if he's going to be successful, like you said, it could be with Lamar Jackson when he's not just the featured back, when they got to respect the quarterback running also. So I think that this might be a good fit. If he's got something left, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, and then he's also.
We forget he's 29, man. Yeah. Like, it's not like he's like 34 out here.
Yeah, so he's still young. At the same time, he's 29. But once you hit over 30, they consider us dinosaurs.
How much does him not playing that season and not having the wear and tear on his body and stuff like that, how much does that play into?
That plays a huge role. That plays a huge role on you coming back in, as long as you've been staying in shape throughout your time not playing. So now there's no way he's in football shape right now, right? He's not in football shape because there's no way you can get in football shape if you're not playing football. Right?
Fair enough.
So right now, if you can just stay in shape to when you start to when you want to get into football shape, when you come back on practice squad, they're going to run him around. They're going to give him time to learn the playbook. He's going to take a lot of reps, probably taking 3 or 4 reps at a time in practice. Other practice squad back comes in for a play or two, and then they're going to put him back out there for another 3 or 4 more plays and run. And so he's going to get his conditioning up right now. They're about to really test him. And especially when you're an older back coming in, and you took some time off, like, it's just what it is.
You go back to that 2014 season he had, man. 1,361 rushing yards, 850 receiving yards, caught 83 passes.
Yeah.
I mean, people forget.
And people get upset with him, like, and say he's all about self. Where they franchise tagged him twice, right?
Right.
Like back-to-back years, and he had good years both years, and they didn't want to pay him.
Right.
And so when it's time to negotiate the contract, like, sit out. I'm all for that young man.
So am I, man.
But
I'm
here's
all
the
for that.
thing: they're
all
going
for
through
it
it right now too with T.J. Watt in Pittsburgh, as far as not paying past the contract. So there's talk that he could miss the first game of the season because
they don't want to pay.
Wet.
Right. You don't want to. But you have a person who goes there, right? And mind you, I'm not taking anything away from NFL because this is a business. And as long as you can understand that this is a business, you don't take it personal. They're doing their job. They know what's best for their organization. And as a player, you have to do what's best for you. And the thing, how they try to wordplay, like the media does, like the media works for the organization. And so is it in their best interest to paint a person or a player bad or the organization? They're not going to paint the organization bad.
Well, here's the facts, too. I mean, I just went over those numbers that he put up in 2014.
Yeah.
He made $592,000 in 2014.
And 2000, right? In 15, he did what?
In 2015, you talk about like stat-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2015, I mean, he only played 6 games that year, because he had some injury stuff. So he only played 6 games that year. But in 2017... He was back again. 2016 he had 1,270 yards. 2017 he had almost 1,300 yards. Like the numbers were there.
Yeah.
And then when you look at 2016, he made $850,000.
Right, and the running backs are so undervalued in this league.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, we can just go get a running back off the street. And this is how. So when I made the Saints in 2011, I broke my knee. I had a hairline fracture in my knee. I had some. Tore my PCL, and they had to bring in a running back for a couple of weeks until I kind of recovered. And so when I came back, I met with Coach Sean Payton, and he told me basically, listen, we just bought a guy here off the street, and he looks pretty good. You shouldn't want to take time off. Like, I'm injured, but I'm not taking time off. I'm here rehabbing every day. I'm going over my playbooks, going over the plays. But that's just how much they value you. Like, they're not going to do that to, high name guys. Everybody's different. Like, they would never say that to a Calvin.
Sure.
They'll never say that to like a Drew Brees. They're not, it just wouldn't happen, right? But
everybody gets treated the same. Differently.
Yeah, and they always use that. Everyone gets treated the same. But when it's time for a quarterback, right?
Oh, that's different.
There's no hesitation. We got to figure it out. We need him here. But when it comes to running back, he's he's replaceable.
Well, that's why I laugh about Le'Veon too, because I remember doing talk shows when he was holding out. I said, Le'Veon, you hold out forever. If that's what it takes, make sure you get your money. And then people laugh on the social media too. They say, well, you went to the Jets and look what happened. You barely played. You didn't put up big numbers. He also made $28 million. So mission accomplished in those 2 seasons with the Jets. Because, as you said, Joique,
his running style didn't fit their type of play. It doesn't mean that he declined as a player. Just that type of offense and what he's used to and what's best for him is different.
Right. And for me, I'll always say that with the players, because you guys have such a limited window, man. Get your money.
One of yours, Art?
No, that's
I had a fan just come by and wave in the window.
Yeah, so it's so funny because we have these new tinted windows in here. If you can see in back of D-Mac, we have these new tinted windows in here, and you can't see inside, but we can see out. And people just come up to the windows and fix their makeup in the windows as if we can't see them.
Neal, you make up a good point, though, right? So Le'Veon Bell held out, did what he needed to do. He got paid. Plus, he didn't have the wear and tear. Plus, maybe now he's going to the system. Is it possible that we could be talking about the comeback player of the year? Or is that too far fetched?
It's too far fetched.
Okay.
But
why is that, Joique? Why is that?
Yeah,
why is it
I guess my question would be, why? Because now it gets me thinking as well, because
I would have to do research on that, on how many guys have set out.
Yeah, but there's always a time for first, bro.
It is.
I was the first one to play in the IDA and the NHL and win a cup in the same year. It can be done.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's far-fetched. I have to look at the NFL and see if it's been done in the NFL. I haven't seen it. I probably seen the guy come from college, and I think is it far-fetched to say a guy coming from college who never played in the NFL come in and win one his first year as a quarterback?
Right. But here's the thing, too, though, is that if I'm Le'Veon Bell and I sit back, Neal, my body's probably not as beat up as it should be at 29. My bank account, because of the sacrifice I've made, is fat like it should be. Moving forward, I think that when these things are taken care of, when the money, then everything else, we will see him going out. And if he's got something left, then we will see it, right? Like all the other things are taken care of. Now it's just about football.
Right. Joey 2 times says most running backs are replaceable, or at least something close to it. The Panthers weren't struggling last year because Mike Davis was playing poorly. And Joey, you're not wrong. Both things can be true. That only reinforces my point of, if you're a player, get your money and do what it takes to get your money, because you get one spin at this, man. Le'Veon Bell got one crack at that, and he got $28 million. Yeah. So he did it the right way.
He did. He did what he was supposed to do. And the thing is, that kind of, it's a domino effect. And now the next running back, he's going to get more than that if he's putting up higher numbers, because the body will work. That's how it works, right? Yeah. That's how it works. Now, Derrick Henry, I feel like he should have got more than what he got. Right. I feel like he should have got.
However you slice it.
Well, it is however you slice it. And you know what, Art, though, is if Le'Veon Bell wheels and deals with coastportland.com and carves through that offensive line like this machete, or he can use the lamps to see the holes or whatever. You too, coastportland.com, WSN 20% off. Yes, that's how they do it since 1919, helping do-it-yourselfers, first responders, even backyard pirates like myself, getting those weeds and everything else. You too can be a part of the Coast Portland family. How do we do that? Well, every Friday, which means 2 days, hashtag How We Coast. Anywhere you Woodward Sports Network, tell me how you would use this wonderful Coast Portland product in your life, and I will give you a $100 gift certificate. That's, yes, anywhere you Woodward Sports Network, hashtag How We Coast for a $100 gift certificate. Until then, go to coastportland.com, WSN 20% off. Tell them Big D Energy sent you. We'll be here, Woodward Sports Network. We'll be right back.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
You can opt out. Welcome back, Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. He's Joique Bell, guy that knows a thing or two about running backs and running back contracts. D-Mac, Darren McCarty, with us as always. Fish is in the bowl. Flint's very own Arturo in the house. Make sure you stick around at noon. We'll be joined by Scott Leshner, the chairman of the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. Also, Dan Stahl and Paul Sabatini of Stahls as well. Talk about this guy in the Grindline going in the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame as a Michigan treasure. We'll discuss that more when that comes up around noon, so make sure you stick around for that. But we're talking the whole Le'Veon Bell situation, the signing with the Ravens, which was a little bit of news, but it is cool to pick Joique's brain and D-Mac's brain, really, for how this works financially and how you play the financial game, because the running back position, and Joique talks about this a lot because A, it's true, B, he was a running back, and C, oh yeah, it's true, the running backs are undervalued, and you have to strike when you can strike and get your money when you can get your money while you can. And Derrick Henry is a guy that, you know, you would think would make more than $10.5 million or $12 million, or in 2023 when he's 29 years old, he'll make $12.5 million, and then he's an unrestricted free agent at age 30. And the track record, Joique tells us that he'll be lucky to get $5 or $6 million depending on how things go.
Yeah, it's just how it works as a running back, and it's crazy because you look at the contracts that Le'Veon Bell signed. So Le'Veon Bell had guaranteed $27 million. How is Derrick Henry guaranteed money not more than Le'Veon Bell's? You know, and he can opt out after his second year, so he'll make 25.2. Right. In his first 2 years, and Le'Veon Bell made $27 million guaranteed with the Jets. I mean, and Le'Veon Bell signed his contract before Derrick did, so it doesn't make sense to me how he got paid. I don't know what they were doing in that negotiation room.
Right.
But one thing I do like is he can opt out after the second year, and that way he'll still be 28, 29, right. And then he can still do another major contract, or they can restructure his contract to pay him what he should be getting paid, because he should at least be touching $17 to $18 million a year.
Right. If he were a receiver, he would be.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Odell's making $18 million-ish, whatever that number is he's making.
Right.
And he's not an impact player anymore.
But I'm gonna ask you this: when was the last time Odell Beckham was the receiving leader? Right.
That's what I'm saying. He's not a hugely productive player anymore. He's just not. He's not an $18 million a year player. Because you look at, say your salary cap's $180, $200 million. That's 10% of your cap on that dude. Like, if you're going to be paying 10% of your cap, you got to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? And he's not. And receivers get that kind of money all the time.
Hey, well, he might be helping them bring in money off the field. That got to be what it is.
I would guess so. Well, I would guess so. But
big names. What big names get you though? All right, that's because in the media, Odell Beckham Jr. is bigger in the media.
Right.
It is. It's bigger
social
in the
media. Yeah. Social media, the regular media.
Yeah. Derrick Henry is big in the NFL world. Mm-hmm. He's big in the NFL world. All right, and so.
But if it's 3rd and 4 and Baker Mayfield's got the rock, who's he going to throw that ball to? We know. Jarvis Landry's going to make that catch.
Yeah, he's going to throw it to Jarvis.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take anything away from Odell. Odell can, he got some wear and tear on him, but when he's healthy, I mean, that's a great little
no question. No question.
Take nothing away from him now.
No, I'm not. No question.
Okay.
Joique. But the bottom line is, you are what the numbers say you are. That's what you are. That's your production.
That's
I know
true.
the locker room
That's
stuff
true.
and all that kind of stuff.
That's true.
But you are what your numbers say you are. Just like as a team, we can talk about if the Lions, and that's the thing that I'm looking forward to Dan Campbell. Like, it's fun and you can joke around with the media and stuff like that when you're 0-0. But D-Mac, that stuff goes out the window. If you're 1-6, man, you're 1-6. That's what you are. And, you can talk about the kneecaps and all that kind of stuff, and I know we're all ha-ha, he-he. But if you're 1-6, man, you're 1-6.
Yeah, but has anybody gone through the lineup legitimately and seen where your wins are going to be? And if I look at this and I can honestly see being realistic, a 2-15 season or whatever like that. So, again, if we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about what we're expecting. Joique has always said the fact that 2-year plan. So what we want is we want them building. And to me, it's culture, structure. I'll be saying, what is the attitude of the offensive line, the defensive line? Are we building from the things that Dan Campbell and his staff is telling us that we're working on and we're building towards? Do I see it? It's as simple as that. At the end of the day, I don't expect them. Art's going to have a nice tattoo. I mean, it's just the way it is. They're not going to have a great season, but it can be a successful season if we see things and they're making progress in the way that Dan Campbell is telling us because of the transparency out there. Obviously, it goes to a lot of people that we don't know what's going to happen. Wide receivers. Hawkinson's got to step up and add to what he did last year, the Pro Bowl. Swift's got to stay healthy. Goff's got to stay upright. What's Penei Sewell going to do? There's so many questions asked. Now we get to go out and watch him play this week, and we can talk next week and see where it's at. Because no matter if they're 6-1 or 1-6, we're going to sit here and be talking about it. So to me, it's about doing the little things, taking care of the little things, no stupid penalties, how do you manage the clock, all that stuff that can help in your structure moving forward.
And what people fail to realize, you're going through an NFL season, right? One of the most brutal sports you'll ever play, 100% injury rate. So think about if we were to have any injuries on the offensive line, right, and that defensive backfield, it can happen. It happens every year. Look at our depth chart. Look at our twos. Look at our second string coming in, right? For wide receiver, it might not make that big of an impact, but if anything happens to the offensive line, anything happens to that running back core, our tight ends, that's the strength of our offense. And if we lose, Swift, or we lose Hawkinson, or we lose these guys, this is one of our top guys right here. We lose Williams, it happens, right? And then not saying that the season is going to tank, right? Because regardless of all of that, they get a pass from me for the next couple of years. But what I want to see is progression over the next couple of years. I want to see play calling. I want to see how Goff, manages the game. We want to see what type of decisions the players make in crucial parts of the games. All right, it's 2 minutes left. We're down by 6. 1 timeout left. All right. You get the first down. You continue to get yards. Or you get out of bounds. Or you get down. Like, what do you do? In certain situations of the game, I want to see what are the coaches teaching the players in crucial parts of the game. I remember every Thursday we'll have critical thinking meetings. All right, this is what you do. Or he'll take us through a situation in the game. What would you do right here? And you have to answer the question, to what you think you should do. And he'll correct you if you're right, and he'll correct you if you're wrong. Or agree with you if you're right, correct you if you're wrong. And so are they having those type of meetings, right? And that's what I want to see, all right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's pretty simple, right? Rookie contracts that contribute. And that's, I get what you're saying, where you want to talk about operationally what they do, how they manage the clock, all those kinds of things. And that's cool. Like, that's something tangible that you can see. For me, it's never changed. The reason that the Lions haven't been a good organization, a good football team, is because they don't draft well. And the teams that do draft well are good teams. It's just that simple.
One person.
It is.
One word. Okudah. Can we save Okudah? Is there a player there? Can he develop? And this is, to me, goes to your point, being third overall pick, being contract, being that is he going to be worthy of that second contract? And he's your third overall pick. He has to be. So hopefully Aaron Glenn can bring something.
If you're a carpenter, right, and one carpenter has the Black & Decker toolbox with 2 screwdrivers in it, a pair of pliers, and a 9-volt drill, to where the other carpenter has the van with every different ensemble and every tool known to man, who's going to be the better carpenter, man? It's pretty easy.
Fair enough.
It's pretty easy. Like, I hate to make things that basic, but Joique, it is a complex game, and playmakers and men play that game and everything like that. But you gotta have good players,
I tell you the good things. I'll tell you the good thing about having rookies on your team. They don't know nothing. They know what you teach them.
Yep.
Right.
And they understand that when they come into the NFL from an NCAA team, that hey, this is a totally different ball game. I don't know what I don't know. I'm just gonna listen to the veterans, and I'm gonna go from there. All right. And that's why it's so important to have veterans on the team that's buying into the coach's system, into their program, because the players are going to look up to these players, these veterans, to get advice, right? And so, could they feel more comfortable with them because, hey, it's like that blue curtain. It's like that blue curtain.
Absolutely. Well, guys, look, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like football 5 days a week, which we get. Shout out to Maction on Tuesday. That'll be coming up soon. I can't wait for it. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk in, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Even art can be handsome and clean. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America, Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/Chopper Shop.
Okay.
Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. This guy's Joique Bell. That guy's Darren McCarty. Happy to have you along for the ride. Hour number 2 of the show. We have some special guests in studio. Big honor for Darren McCarty and the Grindline as well, as we'll welcome in on the video call Scott Leshner. He's the chairman of the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. Also here in studio we have Dan Stahl, the president of Stahl's, along with Paul Sabatini as well. And Scott, we'll start with you. And look, Scott, I've been a voter in the past for the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. It is, to me, it's one of the best events that are on the Detroit sports calendar, the Michigan sports calendar. You guys have such a big-time event coming up with DMAC, this guy in the Grindline as well. It's a big time of the year for you guys. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dan. It's great to be on the show. It is overdue, to say the least, with the COVID thing that hit us last year. We had to postpone the program. We're getting back to this year. We're looking forward to it. And, besides the class of 2020, which is second to none, to have the Grindline as another group of folks that we're going to represent and honor with what we call the Michigan Treasure Award is special, because those 4 guys, let's say, hey, people bought tickets to go watch that, right? And they brought excitement to the city, and we're looking forward to that night, Friday, October 1st.
Talking to Scott Leshner, obviously with the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. Name some of the other inductees if people aren't up to date of the 2020, because it's going to be a big night, and talk to people about the night that's coming up October 1st.
Yeah, so if you just watched anything with the NFL induction, Kelvin Johnson is in this class. So Kelvin's coming in. Chauncey Billups and Shane Battier were part of the 2020 class, but they can't make it that night. They both took jobs. Chauncey just took the head coaching job in Portland, so he's a little busy. And Shane's down in Miami. So they both agreed to be there next year. So what we're gonna do is get a date in 2022 that they can both be there as well. But Jordan Weaver, Olympic gymnast, multi-gold medalist, a Marker, 39-year softball coach at Central Michigan, multiple titles. Pete Schmidt, 8 consecutive MIAA championships at Albion. Tom Killer Kowalski, you guys know Killer,
yep.
Covered the Lions for many years, great journalist. Mary Schroeder, she's going to be the first female photographer to come into the Hall of Fame. Let me back up. The Hall of Fame, this Michigan Sports Hall of Fame, is the oldest and largest state sports Hall of Fame in the country. Started in 1954. And our last inductee, Mr. Ralph Wilson, Jr., you guys know him, the insurance company, owned the Buffalo Bills for many, many years, a Grosse Pointe resident for many, So having said that, the class is strong. There are 3 of them that are deceased, but they will be represented by their families. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
I want to bring in Dan and Paul from Stahl's, and obviously my relationship, when I say as part of, this is an extended part of the Grind Time family, and we've done a bunch of things, but how did this, because you're the ones that sort of brought this up to me, but how Stahl's has been involved, the title sponsorship, but this is very important to Stahl's Automotive for what it means to, what you guys mean to being part of Michigan. Can you explain what it's all about. And thanks for, I guess, bringing the nomination on behalf of the Grindline to this treasure program, and maybe give the listeners a little bit what went into this. How did this come about?
Well, for one, Stahl's was started in 1932 by my great-grandfather, and we're the world's largest manufacturer of heat printing equipment and materials. And then through the involvement with Detroit Red Wings alumni, as well as just the community events that you and Joey put on, we've got to learn about your guys' personalities and everything you do for the community, and it just felt honestly right.
Yeah, we nominated and campaigned for the Grindline to be inducted into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame, not only for your accomplishments, what you do on the ice, but what you do in the community. You all live here still in Michigan. Joey's got his Joe Kosher Foundation. DMAC, you've got your Grind Time family and your charities. And Drapes and Malts are, with the Red Wings right now with the rebuild. Stahl's is just honored to be part of your induction into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame.
I think that's, and obviously on behalf of all the guys and stuff like this. But what, Scott, can you talk about what goes into planning? And you said because it's this is different because it's not the annual, but you're trying to do 2 years into one. How do people learn about getting involved, and what's the process, and how's it going to go down October 1st?
Yeah, so what happens is every year when I get up on stage and make my remarks, I tell everyone that the nomination period is open that night for 2 months solid. So from October 1st to November 30th, nominations period is open on our website, www.mshof.org. Anyone can go on there and nominate somebody to be inducted. And then from there, it goes to a subcommittee that's about 30 strong, anybody from journalists, current Hall of Famers, broadcasters, you name it. It's a really cool group. And to see them vet the list and go through the process, and then, they make a recommendation to the board, we have to justify and unify it, and then we go, we come up with that next class. I can tell you this, since 2010, when I became involved with the Hall of Fame, we got about 10 or 20 nominations a year for about 5 years. And I said, guys, we have one of the greatest states in the country with sports, and we need to make sure that everybody's being nominated. Bring you up to speed, last year, we got over 200 nominees. So that committee really does a hard job of working, vetting those people to make sure that we get a great class that comes in every year. But as you can see, from the 8 that are coming in with us this year, it's top notch.
And Scott, just to follow up that point, as I said when I introduced you before, I've actually voted on that committee before a couple years ago when Sergei Fedorov and Madonna and all those guys got in. I just want everybody to understand, you see a lot of awards these days, and you talked about the voting process. I remember I went over that for hours personally, and you said there's around 30 people. This is serious business, man. Like, it's an honor to vote for it, and you go back and forth on it. If you make it into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame, you are worthy. You have a resume, because everybody that's been in there, their resume just jumps off the paper.
Yeah, it's so true, and I tell everybody when I do my opening remarks, I say, hey guys, I'll stand here and I'll put the state of Michigan's Hall of Fame up against any state in this country, and I'm sure we win.
No question about it. Talking with Scott Leshner, the chairman of the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. You can get involved with that. There are ceremonies coming up on October 1st. Go to mshof.org. I've been to one before. It is a top-notch event. Also, Dan Stahl, the president of Stahl's, Paul Sabatini, here in studio as well. And Dan, I'll ask you this question, too, because you talked about the community involvement and everything that goes along with that. That was first of mind for you to talk about. It wasn't, hey, we're a part of this. We kind of push this. You lined up the reasons as to why. I mean, it's something, this is very big locally, and I hope that this gets bigger.
Oh, absolutely. And one thing, Darren, is my dad was actually inducted, I think, about 5 years ago, so you can join him there. But part of it's the community aspect where, professional career only lasts so long, but it's how do you remain relevant and still inspire people within the community for the greater good.
Well, I think that's so important with what Stahl's is about. And you mentioned your great grandfather and you started it, and even to this day, that people don't really realize is that I always joke, but Stahls is the ones that are there putting the numbers and the names on the back of the jerseys at the draft, where actually our boy Scotty questions, Scott Valley's the first one that knows, besides Roger Goodell, who the picks are. And I always thought that was cool. But, how about a little bit behind? Because the memorabilia business, obviously with jerseys and different things, sports cards is big. But tell people, like, how impactful and the state of the art of 2021, how the screen printing business, it's how massive it is. I don't think people really understand how the footprint of what Stahls has across the world.
One of our slogans is Little League to Big Leagues, where whether it's a 6-year-old on the soccer field running around with his name and number, and it's similar to where a 6-year-old gets his first jersey with his own name on it. It's the same experience as a pro player getting drafted and receiving their jersey with their team name on it. And it just really tries to embrace what, the feeling of what that is, whether it's for a 6-year-old or a professional player.
I think that's the one thing out of everything, and which is a great thing about the Treasure. It's the community.
Yeah,
and it's the compassion. It's community. So I know for my Grindline, and you mentioned Joey's Foundation for Children and what we all try to do and give back to as much as we can. So to be honored as a Treasure is something that we all are very honored and proud of, and be excited for October 1st.
Yeah, absolutely. And Scott, real quickly before I let you guys all go here, let everybody know one more time how they can get involved. Because again, this is a ceremony. You can buy tickets, you can attend. I've been there before. Yeah. Trust me, it's a top-notch event. If you're in a position to do so, I would encourage you to do so. And by the way, Scott, I'd be remiss too. Tom Mazaway would kill me if I didn't remind everyone. Derek Jeter is in the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. Who's going in the Baseball Hall of Fame tonight. So Maz, there you go. I got it in. Hey, congrats. How can everyone be there?
So yeah, just saying that, with Jeter coming, in 3 years ago, and then Kelvin coming in this year, and he was just a part of Canton. So I mean, but come on down to the show. It's open to everybody. We took into consideration the pandemic, so we lowered the prices. You got general admission tickets at $25, and then VIP tickets at $65. So please go on to our website. You can purchase right on the site, www.mshof.org. 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. If you're a VIP, you get into that 1-hour reception with the Hall of Famers, take some photo ops, talk to them, and it's a great time. We look forward to seeing everybody there.
All right, perfect. So the VIP tickets are basically, you can go in, you'll be able to see the people getting honored or inducted. You get pictures, sit down, get a meal, and enjoy the festivities. Sir. Okay.
Guys, I'm telling you, it's a
win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not just saying this because Scott's here. I've talked about this before. If you're a sports fan, you should check this out. You really should, because it is a top-notch event. Well, Scott, I certainly do appreciate your time. Dan, Paul, appreciate your guys' time, your involvement as well, and look forward to a great event.
Thank you all, and we look forward to it. Exciting. See you in a month.
Absolutely. We'll be back with more. You're watching Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back. Big D Energy here, the Woodward Sports Network. Big thanks to Scott Leshner, the chairman of the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame, and Dan Stahl, president of Stahl's, Paul Sabatini as well. It is. I keep saying it, man, because it's true. If you're in a position to, get out there. Go to mshof.org, and the text messages and the YouTube chat going crazy here right now. Scott Raynard says Killer Kowalski was a legend. That'll be cool to see Killer get in there.
Absolutely. That's gone too soon for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of congratulations to Darren as well. So, it is. And, it's funny because you mentioned, receiving that award from Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. The Grindline is Detroit. that's Detroit, man. Like that's I think about that. I think about my parents growing up, working in the car factories. If Dad didn't feel well or whatever, never not went to work every single day like you guys. I mean, you just went out there and worked.
Here's the kicker, right? You know, when I'm growing up, you know, what are the lines? You got the production line, and then you heard of the French Connection, or you know, whatever like this. So for us to not only be inducted into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame, which means the most for the Grindline, you ask, we want to be in the Detroit or the Michigan where it meant to be, where we did our work, but we're all that's all our mentality was. Is we looked around and we knew what our job was, surrounded by all those all-stars, and we took pride in it. So, I couldn't be happier, like I said, and it's a team, it's a Grindline thing where we wouldn't want it any other way than going together.
Man, that's a major accomplishment. Congratulations, D-Mac. You deserve it.
Appreciate it.
You deserve it. And so just to make sure, they're taking the 2020 class and the 2021 class, putting them together.
Yeah.
So something similar to like the Hall of Fame for the NFL.
Yeah, I would say a guy like Joique Bell's got a good look at getting in there too.
Absolutely.
Again, as a guy who votes in this thing, who was nominated in the past, I would just say the resume's pretty lined up with the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame.
Are they going after my NFL?
No,
my college
state of
college
Michigan
would be
college.
your high school and all that
yeah,
stuff.
everything you did
college.
while you were in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, state of Michigan
comes into play for it.
First ballot.
You're like, yeah. He's like, why
Did you
ain't
see
I
him
in
all of a
yet?
sudden? Yeah.
Why ain't I in yet?
He was trying to be all humble. He was going to be humble, Joique, and everything. Like, oh man, I don't know about. They take college stats too.
Oh, college stats. Oh yeah, no brainer.
I would just say,
I
would just say, Joique, I like your chances. At some point, I like your chances.
Do they have the question?
Listen,
how do they
he
do it?
said October 1st. He said that somebody will be putting a ballot in that Joique Bell at the 2 months for nominations. So I'm sure that I would suspect that if Mr. Ruhl was on the list of voters, that Joique Bell's name would come across in the next calendar year.
I'm just saying. It could. I don't know. We'll just see.
We'll see what happens. If so, I'll be humbled. But if not, then I understand. Real quick. So when you go to these things, right, or you get nominated, do you get the knock? Did you get the knock at the door, or did you get a phone call?
For what?
When they nominated you to go into the Hall of Fame.
To that one right there? Yeah. Actually, Dan and Paul called me.
They called.
And then, they all three and Scott Leshner, they called me on a conference call. They said they left a message because try to get a hold of me if you don't have the right number. So Scott called and said they need you to call me back, and then I waited and had Nick call him back, and then we're here. So,
you know what?
It is what it is. I don't know, bro. My priorities are a little bit out of whack. I'm more concerned that Ryan's reaction, and Joey 2 times on here, are giving props to D-Mac's Daily Bread. So this is his favorite strain, probably in Michigan. And I would say, you know why it's called Daily Bread, Art? You just got to start your day with it.
Aww.
There you go. Anyways, I'm more concerned with that.
I thought it was because it's holy. It's a holy experience.
Again, well, it is. It also is. There's a whole bunch of... But, yeah, so it eventually got to it. So they got a hold of it. I don't know how it does individually, but because I guess the rest of the guys wouldn't call him back. And the Mulch won't return a call. Drapes was too busy traveling. Joey's out on the boat, so they got to me.
You're the unofficial spokesman.
You know what? I digress.
Along the Ice says here, and this, you know what? There was a topic I wanted to get into, but I want to know the answer to this instead. Along the Ice brings up a good point. The Grindline started games, and Yzerman was on the bench. That says a lot about the Grindline.
Tone, baby. I said, my favorite shit. We started that 97 in Philly, and I almost put Peter Svoboda into the 5th row because I ran him so hard. But it was that's Scotty. We knew that. We took pride in it. It's the same thing as though you take pride in the city, right? You're going to send us out there, and we're going to start it off. And you look how the Grindline, that's in the 90s, and you look up until today, 24 years later into the playoffs, and what does Tampa win with? They win with their so-called Grindline, as far as starting games, the Gords, the Colemans, the Goudreaus, and stuff like that, your meat and potatoes, and that sets the tone and gets everybody into the game, right? I'm out there just wailing around on guys or mulch and drapes or sticking guys, and it's not only against their fourth line, it's against their top line, and making it hard to play against. It makes it easier for us guys.
And it's always been like that too throughout the history. The history of sports. Show me a championship team, and I'll show you a grind line or a grind player. Pistons fans, they forget Tayshaun Prince was the Kobe stopper. I mean,
right.
that's what he was. People forget about that, man. And
we don't.
He was the X factor though.
Detroit versus everybody.
No doubt.
He was our X factor.
Yeah.
I like Tayshaun Prince.
So did I.
You know, but if we get Melo in here,
they don't win that championship because they don't go to the
Melo
NBA Finals.
Melo
ain't blocking that
Reggie.
shot, bro.
Melo don't block the Reggie.
You know, you know what? I can't argue that. And I like Tayshaun Prince. I liked him a lot. I like what he brought. Great defensive player. Had his jump shot was okay. You know, when he was on, we had a better shot of winning. But yeah, he served his purpose here. I was mad when he left. I didn't know why we got rid of him. They got rid of that. That was heartbreaking to me.
Yeah, no, it was.
That was my time here. That was my time here.
Hey, Mike says on the YouTube chat thread, says, Joique, make sure the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame guys don't reach out to Art first on your behalf.
Oh, God.
Not happening when I'm around.
Not happening? You won't have me... You seriously won't put me in the Hall of Fame?
The only way that I would is if I can go up and talk about how great you are and just how you are so humble.
Just like go way over the top with it.
And he never asked anyone to get him breakfast. He made his own
Why
breakfast.
Why you hung up on his breakfast? Like, aren't you glad my guy? And it was egg whites, by the way, not eggs. And you know what? At least he's healthy. And then you understand. Took his baby girl to school today for the first time, so he's running behind. He's looking a little help from the team.
Talk about that though. You want to talk about
no,
a little bit of support
not.
and help from the team, but no.
You know,
just
you guys.
Gotta hear
you know
about
what? You guys
could've
didn't
stayed
even
home
wish
for this
me well.
garbage,
I'm
Art.
sick today, and I have to deal with this nonsense, and none of you guys even wish me
Oh,
well.
now you sick. Now when I go on the air and I say, you know what? Let's clear the air. Everyone in here loves each other. You didn't like that.
Nope.
You didn't like that.
No, God.
And so you like it better when I'm this way with you.
Hey, once you pay attention to kicking people off the YouTube.
Hey, I helped you. How dare you?
I didn't see that one. I wish you would have let it up, so I want to see it.
Hang on, excuse me.
I got the name.
I just got a text. I have to close the door so I could suffer. Enjoy the air conditioning out there.
Poor Art, man. We love him. We love him.
No respect. No respect.
Yeah, man. You need to ban people in here.
I did. There's another person. Oh, I see him. Yep, you're out. Get out of here. Whoa. Yeah, you're definitely out.
You think?
What is happening?
I don't know.
Thank you for the subtle hint, D-Mac. I didn't realize it was, geez, oh, Pete's. Yeah. Jack of all trades over here.
Did want to touch on this too. ESPN announced a Monday Night Football music collaboration with Drake, and the timing couldn't be better for Drake because he needs to get the taste of that latest album out of everyone's mouth.
Do you think that's part of it?
Music will include tracks from Drake's Certified Lover Boy and new music from big artists
all
identified
that talking y'all talking. He broke streaming records on Apple Music.
See, Joique, again, both things can be true. I respect that.
I never seen a trash album sell more.
You look me in the eye and tell me that that's a good album.
Can we just watch a trash boxing pay-per-view that made bazillions?
I think if anything,
no, it didn't break records.
I think if anything, we've proven that we as a society
did.
Yeah, I think if anything, Joique, we've proven we as a society, we don't necessarily have to have a great product in order to purchase it. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we fall for the hype a lot.
Lot of times.
Is that fair?
I mean, at least for the bite, right? For the hype track. My question about Drake is was this in the plans all along, or is this sort of because he knows himself that he's not happy with what he put out?
Listen, he definitely happy with what he put out, and then on top of that, he got some making up to do. He lost a lot of money. You remember that when he was battling with Pusha T?
Oh, yeah, when he got slaughtered by Pusha T? Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
Where he had to admit that he actually has a son? Yeah, I remember that.
But the funny thing is, he put his son's name in the song before, like in the album before that.
Yeah, but he never admitted that he had a son. Pusha made him
Because,
admit
do you know why?
Because he wanted to keep him out of the spotlight.
No,
blah, blah,
that's
blah.
not. So what happened was, he was working on a deal with Adidas
Oh, yeah, the clothing line. Yeah,
the clothing line.
That's what it was. Right. Come on, Joique.
No.
Come on. That kid was already old. He wasn't like old, but he was old enough to where like you're not going to announce that you have. Not that you have to. You don't have to in the public spotlight. But at the same time,
it's the difference between Art having a kid and then Drake having a kid.
Well, yeah, but I've got 70 kids. I announce them every week.
It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? And it's different, right? And so you have to protect your kids from the limelight. You do. But he was about to do something with his son to where I think Adidas is going to do like a $50 or $60 million deal with them on the announcement of his son.
You have to admit, though, that was an amazing move by Pusha. Like, that was like bar for bar.
And messed up his money. Woo! Messed up his money. Because Pusha T
shout out good music.
You know,
all right,
so
well, tried for a while on our YouTube chat thread says the cover is awful. Let's just be honest.
No, it was god awful.
Joique, can we be honest about that? Or are you going to sit here and lie to the
people? Come on, Joique.
It was funny. Did it make you look twice at it? Like, well,
no, it was an emoji.
It was an
Joique,
emoji.
look in that camera and tell the people it wasn't awful.
It wasn't. I've seen worse.
No, look in the camera and tell the people it wasn't. I feel like I'm talking to my wife right now.
Both can be true.
Look at.
Can we pull up a picture? What did he say?
He said both things can be true.
The golden rule.
Oh man, that was a good one. That was a good one.
It's back to our regular day program.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's close to lunchtime. I do know that.
Speaking,
man. I'm thinking about maybe some pizza. I don't know. All I know is that Papa Romano's handcrafts pizza that have made them a Detroit favorite for over 50 years. It's very simple, guys. House-made dough, hand-cut veggies, fresh cheese. It makes all the difference. The same quality goes into all their pizzas, subs, and pitas. Order now. It's lunchtime. Get that lunch order in. Go to PapaRomano'sPizza.com now.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
The thing that goes on.
Back at it here on Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name's Neal Ruhl. He's Joique Bell. He's D-Mac. Darren McCarty. Happy to have you guys with us here today. Dave Schultz says Drake's living off his Degrassi Junior High residuals.
Great show. Great show. You remember those? Degrassi Junior High is Canadian. That's Canadian TV.
That is
baby.
Canadian. Canada does push out some good television.
Stop. Could you imagine D-Mac watching Degrassi? I just can't picture it. I can't picture it.
Hello.
I know it's Canadian.
We all watched Saved by the Bell, too.
Well, yeah.
I didn't watch
Saved by the Bell.
Hold on. What?
Degrassi Junior High was like the Canadian Saved by the Bell.
It really was.
Yeah, except it like tackled social issues instead of just having a bunch of hot people on there.
And Drake was in a wheelchair. He got shot. Yeah, it was nuts. Like, it's crazy how the world works.
And there's no guns in Canada, so that's weird how that played out.
Yeah. Dave says Monday Night Football has gone downhill. I don't even know who the commentators are anymore. Remember when Monday Night Football? It wasn't that long ago. Monday Night Football was like appointment viewing, and it's just what happened?
I don't know. Just more of the matchups, but it's Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels, right?
That's Sunday night. But like on Monday night back in the day when it was Al, Frank, and Dan, it was appointment viewing.
Dude, listen, Monday Night Football. Am I one of the only ones that liked when Dennis Miller was on there?
Probably, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you probably
didn't enjoy the. I like when it was a little bit different.
I liked it, but I get why people didn't like it. You know, because it's a very narrow segment of audience. And that's why that didn't work. So,
but yeah, I guess Sunday nights more. Sunday seems like more. Is it because of all the coverage and the way that we can feed our football frenzy now that before you didn't just have the 1 o'clock, the 4 o'clock, and then
I think it's that
Monday night is because we're on overload, or
I think it's that, and I think it's part of the reason why we're seeing the ascent of soccer on television and NCAA softball, like the time certainty, man. We as parents, we work more than we've ever worked. Our kids are busier than they've ever been. Like we don't have the time for it anymore. I remember when I was a kid. Again, I've talked about it many times. My parents worked in car factories. My mom worked midnights. My dad worked days. they went to work, and that was it. When they got home, my dad worked from 8 to 5. When he got home at 5, he was done with work, and that was it. There were no emails on his phone. He didn't have any video conferences or anything like that. He was done. And then we'd play catch or whatever, eat dinner. Monday Night Football came on. I watched Monday Night Football till halftime. Then I have to go to bed, get up, go to school, all that stuff. Like, it was like that. Now, we don't. Just speaking for me as a parent, you as a parent, I mean, us as parents, if you're going to be involved, man, where's the time? You're not worried about Monday Night Football anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not. You don't have the time anymore.
I'm gonna tell you this. Yeah, it's funny because when I played, we spent so much time at the facility. We're at the facility at 5:30, 6 in the morning, and you're leaving, getting home 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. And when you get home or you go out, people want to talk football with you. We don't want to talk football. We didn't want to talk it, like, at all. So when we left. We were done with it, right? And so it's weird because, like, when games came on, say we had Monday off, and say the teams that we weren't playing that year, were playing, I didn't watch it.
If you were done playing the Packers, you're not trying to watch the Packers on Monday Night Football. You were done playing them.
No, I will watch the Packers. I'll watch them. And the reason I will watch them because I want to study my opponent.
No, I'm saying, like, if you were done playing them, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not playing them anymore. Say it was like week 15, you're done playing the Packers.
I'm still watching. I mean, if it's Monday night or Thursday night, I'm watching. All right. And the reason I say that, that's with the Vikings, that's with the Bears too.
So the divisional thing. All right, but if the LA Chargers are on, you're not trying to watch that. You will now because if it's the Rams, you will because Stafford's there.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah,
and I'll watch because I want to see him lose because I want a better draft pick. What do you got, Fish?
It's the same contest that did last year. Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, and Louis Riddick.
And
so that'll be why.
Yeah, and Joique, I'm like you, right? Where when it comes to talking about announcers, I don't go there because it's not an easy job. Just like being a running back in the NFL.
No, it's not.
Is not an easy job. I know what goes into that job, man. Yeah. And it's hard, and you have to deal with stuff on the fly, and especially nationally with all those viewers and everything like that. It's a very, very hard job. So I don't speak ill of announcers.
Yep, and it's different. You're there by yourself. You're there, so any mistakes you make, it's out there to the world. I mean, as Art knows.
I know.
And you know what's funny, Joique? Because
what's the dumbest thing you ever did on radio?
On the radio?
Yeah, or in
Are you going to say, oh, okay, that's great, and skip past me?
No, we only have 29 minutes left in the show, Art.
Yeah.
So,
actually, 28 some change.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
No, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
No, I'm not doing this with you,
No,
Joique.
go ahead. The people want to know.
I made fun of a town, and I made a parody song called Pure Kalkaska, and the mayor tried getting me fired from my job, so then I made sure that he wasn't reelected when it was his time to come around. But I was.
So what did you do to make sure he wasn't reelected? What did you do?
I had a campaign.
He voted like a real citizen.
Well, yeah, and I voted, and then I had his opponent on, and I offered. In radio, you have to offer that same amount of time for him, so I did, and he never showed up, and then he lost very handedly. Wow. I'm a big name in Kalkaska, I'm a big name. So
you're like the Dallas Cowboys of Kalkaska.
I am.
A lot of hate watching.
Yeah.
A lot of hate watching.
Yeah.
Well, Joique, I've always said this when people ask me about being a play-by-play guy.
Yeah.
It's almost like an offensive lineman can miss a block, but if the play goes the other way, sometimes you can get away with that.
Yeah,
and people won't notice.
Right. It's not magnified.
When you're the play-by-play guy and you mess something up, there's nowhere to hide, man.
It's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
People lose their job over saying the wrong thing.
But truth be told, that's why I like doing that job, though, because I like that smoke. You know what I'm saying?
You like the smoke?
I do, man. I do. I love that. I love that. Yeah.
You gotta enjoy the smoke too.
I love that pressure. I love I love the people in your ear. I love when something's malfunctioning with a replay or something like that. And they're like, we don't know what we're gonna do. I hear that while I'm talking.
Like a small voice in my head. Don't swear. Don't swear.
Who won the Super Bowl in 1989?
1989. That was the 1988 season. That was the 49ers beat the Bengals in Florida.
Did they beat the Bengals? Was it in Florida?
In Florida, yeah.
When did they play here?
The Silverdome was 82.
82.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same matchup, right?
Same matchup. Yeah. Same result. Both close games. Two
hey,
people
yo, you guys want to... Hey, we got a new Chambleese in here. Actually, not new. Not new. You said,
I'm not on his level.
Not on his level?
I'm not on his level. What do you got? What do you got, Fish? I saw you had your hand in the air there, man. What do you got?
What year you got for him, Fish?
I don't know. Well, 2004, right? 2004 was at the Ford Field. Super Bowl? Was it 4 or
2000.
6?
That was 2005 to fourth season.
Yeah.
2005.
2005?
Actually, no. It was the 2005 season.
Right, 2006. The Super
06.
Bowl. Jerome Bettis is from Detroit. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Got it. Got that one.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that or not.
You know why I will never forget that? Because they came and grabbed the Wayne State sports program, and all the athletes from tennis to football, basketball, girls basketball, softball, we all worked downtown during that event, either chaperoning or directing people. And so, we got tipped very well, hanging up celebrities' coats, things like that.
Yeah, it worked out well.
And now you got people making your breakfast. That's beautiful. It comes around full circle.
Making my breakfast or just ordered my breakfast?
Yeah, from what I heard, Fish actually made the breakfast himself.
Is that accurate, Fish?
Woodward Restaurants.
Woodward Restaurants.
Is that accurate? Is that accurate, Fish?
Neal, do you listen to games for announcers?
I do.
Like if there's an announcer you don't like, you just poof, flip it off.
No, it depends on the game. But there are a few. I'm a big Kevin Harlan guy. I think Kevin Harlan's one of the best going. Like, he can make anything sound exciting. When he does the commercials now, finally companies are tapping into him doing commercials. He does a water heater company commercials, and they're great, man. They are. So, I will watch games for.
He also
like
does Fanatics.
Else.
He does the Fanatics commercial.
Yeah.
So hold up. So who's your favorite athlete who transitioned over to media? Who's your favorite?
Tony Romo.
No. You know what though? I don't hate on Tony Romo. He did what worked, and D-Mac, you transitioned over to media. What Tony Romo did was brilliant, right? He knew the plays, and he would say, "Hey, they're going to do this."
I loved it.
Yeah, it's brilliant by him.
Coming from a non-football guy that didn't play, that so loved the intricacies, and when you could point something out to my viewing, I like it like that. Mine would be Pat McAfee. I love what Pat McAfee's doing as far as because he's in the same world. He loves wrestling as a wrestling fan, and watch him on SmackDown.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was
and just being the fan, dude. And then the McAfee show that's on.
Yeah,
he's great anytime because he's genuine. And
I was just gonna say that, like it's real with him. He has like genuine enthusiasm. I've always thought, for me, when I call games, it doesn't matter what I'm calling. I'm genuinely excited to be there.
Yeah.
And that's for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's the game. Number two, it's a respect for the game.
Very much true.
Number three, it's that my parents worked in car factories.
I'm
you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to send a shout out to Pat McAfee. He a real one, too. I remember I played with him. Always energy, always solid, always kept the same energy every day. And he wanted to smoke. He was never scared to go make a hit.
No, that's why
I thought he had more years in him. I thought he had more years in him. I did. I thought he had more years in him. But
he made a good choice.
Yeah, he made a good choice. He he's doing well in the media right now.
He's doing phenomenal, dude.
Phenomenal. And his energy when he's doing his shows is unmatched.
Well,
and that's his personality, though. It fits him.
Absolutely. Everything you see, whether you're watching his show when he's doing interviews or you watching him do SmackDown, he is the fan, but he's also behind it. And if you've seen him do NXT War Games and fight Adam Cole, one of the top, and get in the ring and prove, oh my God, this guy is athletic and this guy is talented. At the genuine, what is it, genuinosity? The genuineness of Pat McAfee. You'll always, when you're genuine, I'm sold.
People can see through it. People can see
that.
And
my two guys are Pat McAfee and Chris Jericho. Because Chris Jericho, if you listen to I Am Jericho, but just the way that they transition, but always evolve, and music, sports, life, all that stuff. Those are the guys, because what you see is what you get.
Yeah, I would have to say, for me, Doris Burke is up there too. It does the analyst for the NBA. Does the games with Mike Breen, because she's very good. I think that's the best thing. She's very good in the pantheon. She's not a good female announcer. She's a good announcer. Period. Run the tape. I always like to say that. Put the tape up next to anyone and tell me who's good. So I got a lot of respect for her. I do like Dan Dierdorf as an anti-Michigan guy, which is weird. Just not a Michigan fan. But Dan Dierdorf is a very, very good analyst too. And then the staples, the Charles Barkleys of the world, and I like Charles
Shaq.
Barkley. Shaq. Yeah,
I like
they're
Shaq.
funny.
I like Shaq better than.
They're funny. I get it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah. Let me give you mine after I tell you about Levels.
Yeah.
Levels Incentive line is now open. Starting right now, get 10% off your order just by mentioning Woodward Sports. Whether you're in the store or on the app, make sure that you mention Woodward Sports to get your 10% off. Everything from the T Grizzly Gas to the D Max Special Strain. And their edibles all on sale right now. Download Enjoy Levels app today and start saving money. You know who needs to save money? All of us. Yep. But more so than all of us, Art. Woodward Sports.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Coming down the stretch here, Woodward Sports Network, it is Big D Energy. Joique Bell, Darren McCarty, Neal Ruhl here with you. Appreciate you guys coming along for the ride here today. Lots of Pat McAfee love on the YouTube chat thread as well. And Chuck brought up a good one, too. Pat Summerall and John Madden. I mean, those guys go without saying.
Those I was saying is his other one. You can't forget is Journey Johnson, Shaq, Kenny, and Charles. That's just classic, genuine. I love.
They hate
you
each
just
other.
tune it in to see Shaq rip on Charles and all that stuff.
You guys are forgetting about the MMA world and Joe Rogan. The reason I like Rogan and Anik.
Art, it's my turn.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joey. Go ahead. Let me put the camera on you.
Thank you. We'll come back to you. Real quick. So it'll be Nate B. It'll be Nate Burleson. I've said this before.
He was very good too.
He's very good.
Nate's good.
And I'll put, because first, if we're doing like the best, Michael Strahan, and then it's Nate B, and then, this is in my book, and then we have.
Well, those guys are so good. They went on to national television, not sports. National television. They're up in like Ryan Armani stratosphere. The bottom line, 2 to 4 here today.
So initially he was with the Good Morning Football, right? And then he just got the promotion. Now he's with CBS.
Yeah.
Right? I think he's with who's Gail. He's on there with Gail now, and making some head. He's making some noise. I'm proud of him.
Making some money, too.
He's making some good money.
Real good.
And it's funny that when Michael Strahan left, I think he's making more money in media than what he was making when he was playing.
Yeah, and he was a high-paid guy even back then.
Yeah,
so good for him.
Great transition for you, Mike.
Yeah, get your money, everybody.
Get your money,
everyone.
Get your money up, not your funny up.
Yeah, but like I said, they're on a Ryan Armani level. But you can catch 2 to 4 right here, Woodward Sports Network, with Braylon Edwards for the bottom line. I just saw him walking around, so it popped in my head. I was thinking of like famous news guys. So, Armani's out there in those streets too.
What you got for us, Art?
Nothing. I got nothing.
He getting his feeling that he does that.
Yep, that's it.
No, what you got, Art?
I just said who it was. We got 18 minutes left. Let's go to another topic. No. Come on. We got topics to get through.
Right,
let's go.
Know.
Come on.
No, I'll tell you what I did want to touch. And we brought on this, we brought this into the mix yesterday with Peter King and his Matt Stafford comments. And for those of you that missed it yesterday, Peter King was just lapping up some Matt Stafford yesterday. Talk about it's a possibility he could throw for 6,000 yards. They were going to win the Super Bowl. He was going to be the MVP. I mean, just going in yesterday on Stafford, which, okay, if that's what you think, then I'm down. I'm here for it. That's cool. Get the old takes exposed and have them write that down, and we can revisit it when the season's over. But I was going through social media yesterday, Art. It didn't stop, man. There's bettors out there that were betting tens of thousands of dollars on Stafford to win the MVP. There's just all this talk going on. I mean, Joique, look, I know you root for him to do well. I am not, because it's tied together. If Stafford doesn't do well, that means the Rams don't do well, which means the Lions do better. And that's a lot of layers, I know, but that's where I am.
Yeah.
But, I mean, were you expecting this? I knew he was going to get some shine, but were you expecting it to go to this level? People betting thousands of dollars on him to win the MVP, and people going all in saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. I mean, you're not at that level with him, are you? I know he's your guy.
No, so I would say this. I'm going to let this first year speak for itself because I know his capability. I know his arm strength, and that can be that's his strength. It can also be his weakness. Both can be true. And let me give you an example real quick. So in practice, or say in the games, he has the green light to make those thread the needle throws. The no look, throw it over a linebacker, safety, swats at it, misses it, and gets it to Galladay in the back of the end zone. Right? He has the green light to do that. Right? He has the arm strength to do that. He has the arm talent to do that. And now sometimes he might try to make those throws in the windows where, he hasn't done it so often that he might do it in a pivotal part of the game where it might get tipped, it might get picked off. All right. But more often than not, he's very creative with how he can get his receivers the ball, how he spreads the ball around. It'll be interesting to see what he does with his receivers. But if we're being realistic, in order to get those type of numbers, you have to have some type of deep threat that you can hit, and it's not even 50-50, it's 90-10. Right, it's 90-10. With Calvin, it was more like 99-1%.
Right,
honestly.
right.
And so you don't have those guys, right? But only time will tell because you have to take the top off the defense if you want to reach that number, and that's going to be 400 to 500 yards a game.
Yeah, Chuck says 6,000. Why not say 7,000? Stafford can solve world hunger. Stafford will throw for 7,000 yards on one play. Stafford can bring peace to the Middle East. I mean, you would think so, though, man, with the way people are talking about him.
But if we were going to talk about it hard, what does that mean?
He's slurping hard, you said?
Yeah, it's that Joey Touton said Peter King is slurping hard. What is that?
That means he's drinking the drink a lot. He's taking it
all right,
in
can
hard.
You put the camera on you and do that again?
Hey, here's the question that if we're talking about a guy to surpass 6,000 yards that's never been done, shouldn't we be talking about Patrick Mahomes? With the weapons he has, with the Tyreek Hill over the top.
Why is everyone just asleep at the wheel with Patrick Mahomes?
Nobody's asleep
I'm
at
not
the wheel with
sleeping.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are, dude.
I told you yesterday.
Motivated,
Are you talking about
too.
people? You talking about?
Yeah.
He's got an edge, and he's not a guy you want. Like, he's a kid who's walk around, and he's going to let his play speak for himself. I just expect them to come out like gangbusters.
Have people forgot he's the best player in the NFL? Have people forgot that? It seems like they have. Who's better, Joique? If you're starting a team right now, Joique, we're starting a new NFL.
Yeah,
you get the first pick.
You can't go wrong with starting a team right now because he's the youngest. I'm gonna go with him. But
all right, so then he's the best player.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, Joique, we're starting a league right now. It's one season long. It's just going to be one season. It's this season.
I'm going Aaron Rodgers. You asked me, that's what I'm going with.
I know. I understand your history with him. I understand what's happened, what he's done to you. I get that.
I don't think that's a bad answer, but it's either A or B, right?
Yeah,
you're going to go with Tom, who's
I think there's just an A.
One year. I mean, if you want to do that, I will put Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, and then I'll put Mahomes. And the reason I say that is because Tom Brady has just proven it. He went to a team for 1 year, won the Super Bowl that same year. It's proven.
Right, and he had to beat Patrick Mahomes, who lost both his tackles.
Offensive line.
That's
I just think Mahomes comes back with a vengeance.
I agree with you.
So, all right.
And we said earlier, the Chiefs not only plugged those spots, made it a strength with who they brought in, with Orlando Brown Jr.
Okay. So let's see what happens this year.
We got to put a lunch on that one.
All right. We'll put dinner. We'll put dinner on it.
I think Mahomes has more yards than Stafford.
You said what?
I think Mahomes throws for more yards than Stafford.
I wouldn't argue that either. I agree with that. I'll put, I want to see who throws the most yards.
MVP voting. Who finishes higher? Dinner.
Between who?
Between Mahomes and Rodgers.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Well, then how are we gonna delineate who was better?
Because look at the weapons around them. I'm going to revert. Who has better weapons?
Well,
who has better weapons?
What are you talking about?
No.
Aaron Rodgers has his 1-2 combo and Devontae.
Yeah, he went and got those guys.
Devontae Adams and who?
He went and got those guys.
That's all he needs.
Yeah.
And
that's all, and then what's his tight end's name?
Randall Cobb. He's back, baby. That's Aaron Rodgers' guy.
Are we going to sit here and do this? Is this a conversation we're going to have on here?
Yep, for the rest of the week.
I don't know why
No,
Tune
I
in
mean,
tomorrow.
you got Travis Kelce, the number one, the number one tight end in all of the NFL.
I
You
get
got
it.
Tyreek
So
Hill.
he's surrounded. So then the top tight end and the top receiver are going to take votes away from the MVP. So that should give Aaron Rodgers more credit with just him and
What you
Devontae
mean?
Adams.
Why would that take it away from him?
Because
Because
if
every
you only
yard-
have
every-
one vote, you might say that Travis Kelce's year is better than Patrick Mahomes.
How you? The only way Travis Kelce is gonna get the ball is if my homeboy gets him the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But
right,
you're
so-
saying
so-
that if a tight end doesn't have 18 touchdowns, that he can't be in the conversation for MVP, and you're saying that being the best tight end in the world, that 18's out of
If he has
16, 14.
he'll have 18 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill will have 15. The running back will have about 10 or 11. It's going to be spread out.
Right.
Screens,
And then-
everything.
And then
Yeah.
Mahomes takes it all.
Absolutely. Remember, you can join Woodward Sports on Sunday, Lions pregame from the Tin Roof in downtown, the old Chili spot right there next to Comerica Park. That's going down 11-1. Ryan Armani from the Bottom Line, 2 to 4 here on Woodward Sports Network. Maz will be out there as well. You can wear your Yankees garb if you want and level with Maz. Jade from WRIF and more will host the pregame show live on Woodward Sport. Also be simulcast on 101 The Riff. Baby.
Hey, also, you could win tickets as well.
And you can win tickets.
Can you win tickets? Good job,
To sit
Artemis.
front row for the Lions 49ers, follow at Woodward Sports and follow Big D Energy as well. Tag 3 friends. Get them to retweet the tweet. You are in there. You'll have your chance to win front row seats. The Lions and the 49ers. It's all going down on Sunday. And you could theoretically wear a Yankees t-shirt and go see Maz still, even if you're sitting in the front row. You could do that. Talk about Jeets. We're going to talk about Jeets in a minute when we come back. It's Woodward Sports, Big D Energy.
Why do you keep...
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Final segment of the show. My name is Neal Ruhl. He is Joique Bell. D-Mac, Darren McCarty in the house as well. We got a little heated there talking about Patrick. Look, Mahomes on a mission, man. I'll leave it at that. And this will be some good discussion that we'll get into going throughout the football season. They plugged those holes with Orlando Brown Jr., man, and I think that they're going to be ready to go. And remember, too, Patrick Mahomes still on his last year, that rookie deal at $7.4 million. There was a commenter in the YouTube thread that said the Chiefs have no cap space. They still got a little bit of they got about a 2-year window, the way that they're set up right now. So they got about a 2-year window where they can be great. I did want to talk about this because I heard this on the way in to the show this morning. MLB's putting their yearly class into Cooperstown today. And I had no friggin' idea that this was going on. Derek Jeter's getting in the Hall of Fame. I had no clue.
I consider myself a baseball fan, as you do too.
Yeah.
And this, without Tom Mazaway, our astute Derek Jeter butt sniffer, we wouldn't have known all this stuff's going on. So, no, but I mean, isn't that sort of weird of it to sneak up on? Like
It's crazy to me, man. Larry Walker's in, who's going in as a Colorado Rocky,
Canadian.
which I'm a big fan of. I was worried that he wasn't going to go in there as a Rocky, but he is. Ted Simmons, local product here, I believe from Southfield. Marvin Miller will be inducted as well, but Derek Jeter, obviously the showstopper as far as that class goes. And just, I do this from time to time. Bill Freehand was part of that, where Derek Jeter wanted to go to Michigan. No one knows this, but Jeter did not want to sign with the Yankees. He wanted to go to Michigan with his girlfriend, and he wanted to play there. And Bill Freehand told him, look, kid, you've got to sign. You're crazy if you don't.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and Jeter said, I don't think there's many college coaches that would have said that. And you know what? It's probably true.
But that just goes to, and rest his soul, but it goes down to what a great person, Bill Freehand was, but looking out for kids and saying what's your best path. And I think in certain school's the best path for some, and baseball, obviously. And, good on you, Mr. Freehan. I think you helped the kid make a pretty good decision.
I think you were right.
You can play golf now.
In retrospect, I think that you are right. But look, I have this every so often. You guys, we've been doing the show long enough now. You guys know, you guys that are watching and listening, I will go on this referendum every so often when it pops in my head, and I'm going there right now. Derek Jeter's going into the Hall of Fame, and I don't watch shows, I don't watch movies, I just do sports. If nothing else is on a late night, I'll watch the West Coast baseball game. I will. If it's on, I'll watch it. I did not know that Derek Jeter goes into the Hall of Fame. It's just another sign that baseball is losing their grip, man. In the series of many signs, baseball's losing it, man. They are.
Like, for lack of a better term, but this is like a mindfulness-less moment, right? It's almost like, are you really going to forget when this is what if you're about tradition, and baseball's about tradition, the history, and this is so important, and you just matter-of-factly, not only that, but to one of the greatest baseball players to represent you as a game, a guy who never had anything bad said about him in a market that could only do there. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you this.
Gift bags, gift baskets, that's all it is. Leave his house with a gift. That is so pure. I mean, and doesn't it blow you away for a guy that wanted to go to Michigan, right, to be with his girlfriend, to have all the world's best girlfriends? I mean, does anybody else? It just
I'm gonna tell you this.
Way to go, Bill. You kept
them
out.
You say they're losing their grip.
Yes.
For us to not hear about it, right, and to be here in Michigan, where he's from. Shout out to Kalamazoo, by the way. Shout out to K Central.
Kazoo.
Yeah, man. It speaks volume. It speaks volume.
It is, and we get these checkpoints every so often with the game of baseball where we see this. For me, it's with every 4-hour and 10-minute 9-inning game, with every bumbled television contract negotiation, with every time, a lot like hockey, where I have to go to TBS or whatever to watch the afternoon playoff game, not know where it's on. I have no idea in my head where it's at. It is, man. It's just the continued erosion, and it's not one single thing. It's not this. It's not the Hall of Fame thing, and you can blame it on COVID all you want. I knew when Calvin Johnson was going in the Hall of Fame. I knew when Calvin was getting in. Everybody knew. So you can't blame it on the COVID. It's the continued mismanagement of baseball across all fronts. And they want to talk about the pitcher clocks or the rule changes to speed up the game. Just call it what it is. The commercial breaks 20 years ago were 1.5 minutes. Now they're 3.5 minutes. And you're not changing that. So figure it out. Figure it out. The game is dying, everybody. Baseball's dying in front of your very eyes. It just continues to wilt away. This is more evidence of it. And guess what? It'll continue to die because it's not reversing course.
Well, and they're not being proactive with it or doing anything about it, trying to say, hey, what do we do? Let's change this. It's a simple fact, like you said, shorten up the commercials. Take some of the money, make it back, more entertaining instead of, now you go to instant replay, pitchers' clocks, guys got to be in there for 3 batters. They're changing the wrong rules. I don't think they have a grasp on the pulse. Like you look at it. Little League World Series, right? 6-inning games. Those kids. I mean, we're watching that more than we're watching Major League Baseball because of the entertainment value. But it's a quicker game.
Should they shorten?
I don't know.
Hey, no. So I'm gonna tell you this. So I remember. So when I used to start doing these football camps, I would go around the country and do these camps. I would take what I like from these camps and I would incorporate it to mine. I remember I went to a camp that started at 8 o'clock in the morning and it ended at 5 p.m. I said I would never do a camp that long. There's not that much football in the world. It's just not. All right. And and by the end of the day, you just look at the kids, and the kids are just exhausted, and mentally they're not there. They checked out before noon. They checked out before noon. And so I think the MLB should go around and kind of see. I mean, do their homework. See. When do they start losing their viewers, right? What's the highest point of their viewers during the game, and capitalize on that and kind of just, do something. Like, who's over the marketing? Who's over that?
I don't know, man, but all I know is, and you talked about the Little League World Series, NCAA college softball is going the same way. The baseball, NCAA baseball, it's the same thing where you're having 4-hour games that just go. College baseball goes on forever. And that's the only way. Again, tying back to what we said earlier, we work more than we've ever worked. We have less free time than we've ever had. It's too much. It's too big of an ask. How are you going to ask a family? How are you going to ask Art with 11 children to pack them up and go down to Comerica Park when it's an hour down to the stadium? You find the parking spot. You get in the game. Then the game's going to take 3.5 hours. Then it's an hour back home. You're asking the Arts of the world, man, the me's of the world. You wanted me to give up 5-6 hours to go to a baseball game? Nope. I'm not even going to give you the 4 hours to watch it. When the Yankees play the Red Sox, it's 4 hours all the time. No, not doing that, man. I don't care how great the game is.
And does it come down to, at the end of the day, does it come down to Rob Manfred because he's the commissioner? I guess so. Where the power lies. So it's something that the baseball, but it's always been that way. They don't really take their look at themselves. They don't see themselves the way that the rest of the world sees them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the answer is. And Dave, on our YouTube chat thread, I used to call games for the USPBL on ESPN3. They put a time limit on the games, 2 hours and 45 minutes. I don't know if that's the answer. I don't know, but I'm not paid to know. So I can complain about it and not do anything about it. That's what's great about this job.
Awesome.
Until you scratch me the check, I'll do it. For Joique Bell. Yeah.
What was that, Art?
Bro, do your show. I'm multitasking. Do your show. Don't worry about it.
For Joique Bell.
You raising your hand. Art,
I wasn't.
For Darren McCarty, for everybody that was contributing to the show as well, for Art in the booth and Fish. Certainly do appreciate it. My name's Neal Ruhl. See you all tomorrow. Well, see you later.